Before the tournament, we backed the Solomon Islands to claim gold in football at the Pacific Games for the first time in their history. But now they face their toughest test in the semi-final as they take on the Bulu boys of Fiji, yet to concede 10 goals themselves. What a semi-final we have.
What did you say? Did you say yet to concede 10 goals themselves?
Yet to concede and 10 goals themselves. Yet to concede 10 goals themselves.
Oh, I thought you said yet to concede 10 goals themselves. And I was like, oh, okay. No,
There's
my
not
apologies.
that many teams that can say that.
No. So 10 goals, yeah, they've absolutely banged it so far, haven't they?
They have, indeed.
Well,
They've
I mean,
done
the 10
really
goals was
well.
in one game, I guess, although that helped them progress. That ultimately was the key determining factor to help them progress, wasn't it, after their solid draw with Tahiti?
Yeah, goal difference progression, because they had one of the tough groups, similar to Vanuatu and PNG, where you had two stronger sides on paper in there. But of course, what they had is every team actually did play. But they got it done. They got it done in match day 1, and then on match day 2, because the order was slightly different of the games, they did what they needed to do. They got the draw. A win, of course, would have seen them through, but they got the draw, and it all came down to whether or not Tahiti could outscore them. They actually only scored 5, a decent result for the Northern Mariana Islands.
0-0 until the 38th minute.
Yeah, which is kind of mad, really, but fair play to them. And it sees Fiji through, both men's and women's team, through to the semi-finals. But the men's team, Roy Krishna, now over 50 caps. They'll be hoping that they can cause a bit of an upset here because they're against the hosts, the Solomon Islands, who had an easier group on paper, Samoa and American Samoa. Only 1-0 against Samoa, which I think surprised a few people. And of course, then an easy game, 11-0 against American Samoa, who have proven themselves to be one of the worst teams at the tournament.
Are Samoa really good now, by the way? Wrong video to ask that question. Maybe one for the podcast. Actually, I'll leave it. Let's leave that.
Well, they're clearly better than American Samoa, who they indeed beat 10-0.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How do you see this one shaping up? Can the Solomon Islands...
Interesting one, mate.
Keep them out?
Interesting. I think Christian has gone home. Oh, he's returned. He's no longer in the team. Why has he done that?
Because now we're outside of international window, aren't we?
I get, I guess, that's a very valid point. It's a very valid point. I mean, he'd 28th, and then by the 1st, so I guess it's another week, so we might miss one club game. Hey, but you're dead right. Yeah, he has club commitments, and that they are ultimately who pay his wages, isn't it? So, but that's a huge blow. The 50 cap, the maestro, the main man, the El Capitan.
But he's playing.
He is the captain. Yeah, sorry, I was just making sure. So I mean, I think they've still got a good chance. They've still got some. They've got through their group. They've had the tougher test with Tahiti, so they're in that headspace of being prepared for tougher opposition. Christian's an enormous miss, though, mate. Still got some good players there. I love Sitaraki Hughes. Nalabu's there. I'm sorry, I'm looking at their squad list, actually. Thomas Dunn, Radrigai's in the squad. They've got some good players. I know you've been way more over this tournament than I have. So they still have a good collective. I can't look beyond the Solomon Islands, though, mate. You? Am I speaking out of turn there? Am I offending you with my opinion?
No, you're not offending me. You're not offending me at all. I think that it was worth a go. I think that one thing that's really impressed me about the Solomon Islands is just how much they've involved the whole squad.
Yeah,
if you look
love
at
making subs, man. So many subs.
Awful lot of subs. I think 5 in both games. And if you look at the fact that John Olarubu, who has been a star turn at this tournament, actually got the deciding goal against Samoa in the second half on the 50th minute. They've not played some of their key players for full 90s. They've been able to rest them. They've been able to take a load of time bedding in the players that have not had all that many games beforehand in terms of internationals. And I just feel like when you've got us, I expect Olarubu to probably start on the bench again. He might have done enough to get himself in the starting 11. But if you do have a player like that on the bench, a player who's already scored a number of goals at this tournament. All right, they've played Samoa and American Samoa, but they're going into it with an awful lot of confidence. both sides obviously are, but I just feel like if you look at the starting 11 for the Solomon Islands, the fact that they're at home as well, they got over the first day nerves by beating Samoa. They've then got an 11-0 win. Lea'i didn't even play. He was fully rested. Leo Lafa, Kamasi, they didn't play at all. I just feel like they've got the better setup going into this game. And I feel like it will be a close game, as we often see between these two sides. And I think that Fiji do pack a punch. Nabil Beg as well, a very good young attacking midfielder. And Sarusi Nalabu's always a threat going forward. But I do feel like Solomon Islands, I just feel like the fact that they've been able to get every player almost involved so far, the whole squad is in such a good position to go on and push them through to the gold medal final.
Yeah, I agree. Don't underestimate that home crowd there as well. That'll be raucous, I imagine. And then, as you said, you're not talking about the first match nerves and the expectation that sort of weighted down as you sort of stutter. Halftime 0-0 against Samoa. It's a little bit twitchy bum, isn't it? This is just bang upright. This is a tight game against a good opposition, Fiji. So let's create an atmosphere to really drive the team on. I just think they are. I think they are better prepared for this game. It will be a tough game, but I think they'll come out on top, mate. And I think they will secure a spot in the gold match final. I'm just trying to think about how Fiji are going to approach it, or how Fiji would upset that apple cart.
I mean, ultimately, you've got to find the right balance in terms of an early goal would set a lot of nerves in for the Solomon Islands, because this is a team with an awful lot of expectations ahead of this game. People will be expecting, now they've eased out of the group, they've got the wind in their sails, for them to beat Fiji and then have a chance at that gold medal. Of course, we've spoken about it already. And I don't think it's too much of a factor, but Fiji have won gold at this before. Solomon Islands have not. It is their biggest test so far. It's not a banana skin, because Fiji are not poor, but everyone's expecting the Solomon Islands to win, and how they navigate that is to really just get the home crowd on side. An early goal for either side, I think, would be absolutely huge in this game. I think we've seen from the Solomon Islands that, not the past MSG Cup, but at the one before, if they don't start well, they do sometimes struggle to then grow back into a game. So from Fiji's perspective, what they've got to try and do is start fast, get out the traps early, and put themselves a goal or two up, because they could then kill off the game if the pressure gets to them. But I do feel like this is maybe the benefit from a Solomon Islands perspective of having a player like Leo Lafa still in the squad of the Pacific Games, because they've got an experienced head there. A lot of their players have played an awful lot of games. You look at Atkin Cow, Hoses Narwo, these are players that have got a lot of international experience. And I do think that they will go on and win it. I think it will be a closer affair than some of the games we've seen, as we said, for the other semi-final. But I have to back the hosts, Solomon Islands, to progress from this one.
Yeah, we're in agreement. So, mate, we are in agreement for both semi-finals then.
Which semi-final do you think has the best chance of producing a gold medal?
I would say none, because they're the semi-finals.
Sneaky. You know what I mean.
Yeah. This one.
This one. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe this one. Yeah. Sorry, you didn't. Yeah, no gold medals on offer at this stage, but I think of the two ties, I think Solomon Islands still going to win it. So I think it'll be a test against Fiji, of course. I think they'll come through it and then bring on the final, in my opinion.
I agree. Scoreline prediction?
Oh, good question. 2-1 Solomon Islands.
So another close game, you think?
Yeah, I think so. No more 10-0s.
I'm going to go a bit of a wider margin, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to put my head on the chopping block for this one. Solomon Islands 4, Fiji 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Leai's yet to score a goal at this tournament. I feel like this is his time to step up the semi-final stage.
He'll be livid that he wasn't allowed to play against American Samoa, won't he? If you're a goal scorer, you'd be fuming. It'd be like, get me on, Gaffer. I'll absolutely run riot here.
Yeah.
Because Olarubu's got 6 games and 2 goals now. Leai's going to be like, what?
He's done what?
6 games and 2 goals now. He's got 6 games. It's the look, end of the working week. We're busy. We're tired, aren't we? He's got 6 goals in 2 games. What did I say? 6 games in 2 games.
But you know what? As Ryan has correctly said, no gold medals available from this match. But you can rule yourself out of it. And of course, the losing side will do that. Both sides progress to a final, one aiming for the bronze medal,
yes,
the other, of course, for gold or silver. We are both predicting a Solomon Islands win. But what do you think is going to happen? Get your predictions down in the comments. If you don't already, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.